The harsh reality nobody's telling you is your constant need to share everything with everyone isn't openness. It's weakness. Your habit of seeking advice from people who haven't achieved what you want to achieve isn't wisdom. It's self-sabotage. And your tendency to reveal your deepest dreams to people who haven't earned the right to hear them isn't building trust. It's sacrificing your power at the altar of false connection. Have you ever noticed how freely we share our dreams, our fears, our deepest secrets with others? Sometimes with people we barely know. The truth is, we're all carrying around these precious parts of ourselves, our hopes, our vulnerabilities, our sacred dreams. And we're often too quick to hand them over to anyone who shows the slightest interest. Let me tell you something that might change the way you think about this forever. Every single word you speak, every dream you share, every fear you reveal becomes a piece of yourself that you give away. And not everyone deserves to hold these pieces of your soul. You're sitting here right now, and I know there's something inside you, a dream, a fear, a hope that you've shared with someone who didn't honor it. Maybe they dismissed it. Maybe they laughed at it. Maybe they used it against you later. That feeling of betrayal, that ache in your chest when someone takes your vulnerability and treats it carelessly, we've all felt it. But here's what most people don't understand. Your thoughts, your dreams, your innermost feelings, they're not just random ideas floating around in your head. They're energy, pure, powerful, creative energy. When you speak them out loud, when you share them with others, you're literally releasing that energy into the world. And once it's out there, you can't take it back. Think about a time when you had a brilliant idea, something that lit you up inside, made your heart race with excitement. Remember that feeling? That pure, untainted enthusiasm? Now think about what happened when you shared it with the wrong person. Perhaps they said, "That's never going to work," or "Don't be ridiculous," or worse, they just gave you that look. You know, the one, that slight smirk that says, "How naive can you be?" In that moment, something shifted, didn't it? The energy changed. Your brilliant idea, your precious dream suddenly felt smaller, less possible. That's because words have power. The words we speak and the words we hear shape our reality in ways we can barely comprehend. You see, we're living in a world that encourages constant sharing, constant connection, constant revelation of our inner worlds. Social media, instant messaging, 24/7 communication. It's created this illusion that we need to share everything with everyone. But that's a lie. A dangerous lie that's causing us to leak our precious energy into spaces and relationships that don't serve our highest good. Would you hand your wallet to a stranger? Would you give your house keys to someone you just met? Of course not. Yet, how many times have you shared your deepest fears with someone who hadn't earned the right to hear them? How many times have you revealed your most ambitious dreams to people who are secretly hoping you'd fail? This isn't about becoming paranoid or closing yourself off from meaningful connections. This is about understanding the sacred nature of your inner world and treating it with the respect it deserves. This is about recognizing that not everyone deserves access to your deepest thoughts and feelings. Your dreams, your fears, your hopes, they're like seeds. Plant them in fertile soil among people who will nurture them, and they'll grow into something beautiful. But scatter them carelessly on barren ground among people who don't understand their value, and they'll wither and die. I've seen it happen countless times. Someone has this beautiful dream, this incredible vision for their life. They're filled with enthusiasm, with possibility. Then they share it with the wrong person, maybe a family member who's stuck in their own limitations, maybe a friend who's secretly envious, maybe a colleague who's comfortable with mediocrity. And suddenly that dream starts to fade. It's not just about protecting your dreams from negative people. It's about understanding that every time you speak about your plans, your goals, your deepest desires, you're releasing some of the energy that could be used to actually achieve them. Think about it like this. When you have a goal, any goal, there's a certain amount of energy attached to it. This energy is what fuels your motivation, your determination, your ability to overcome obstacles. Every time you talk about your goal, you release some of that energy. Sometimes that's exactly what you need. Sharing with the right person at the right time can multiply your energy, can strengthen your resolve. But share with the wrong person, and that energy dissipates. It's like having a battery and constantly letting it drain without ever fully charging it. Eventually, you'll find yourself wondering why you can't seem to make progress, why your dreams feel more distant. This isn't just philosophy or psychology. This is practical wisdom that can transform your life. When you start being more selective about what you reveal and to whom, you'll notice something extraordinary happening. Your dreams will start feeling more achievable. Your goals will seem closer. Your inner world will become a sanctuary of possibility rather than a source of doubt and second guessing. Look around you in this room right now. You probably see people, maybe even people you consider friends. But ask yourself, how many of them truly deserve access to your inner world? How many of them have earned the right to know your deepest fears, your highest hopes, your most sacred dreams? This isn't about judgment. It's about discernment. It's about understanding that not everyone who asks deserves an answer. Not everyone who shows interest deserves insight into your soul. Some people ask about your dreams not because they want to see you succeed, but because they want to know how high you're aiming so they can tell you why you'll fall. The most successful people, the ones who consistently achieve their goals and manifest their dreams, understand this principle deeply. They know when to speak and when to stay silent. They understand that there's power in privacy, strength in selectivity. They say wisdom comes from experience, but the real wisdom comes from understanding what experiences have taught us. And one of the most profound lessons life teaches us is about the power of silence, not just the silence of our words, but the silence that protects our essence. Think about the last time you achieved something significant in your life, something that really mattered to you. Did you announce it to the world while it was still a fragile seedling of an idea? Or did you nurture it quietly, protecting it until it was strong enough to withstand the winds of others' opinions? There's a sacred space between having a dream and achieving it. A space where that dream needs to be protected, nourished, and allowed to grow strong. It's like a butterfly emerging from its cocoon. If you try to help it by breaking open the cocoon, you'll actually prevent it from developing the strength it needs to fly. Your dreams work the same way. They need that period of protected development. Let me share something with you that might shift your perspective forever. Every single person you meet is fighting their own inner battles, carrying their own baggage of insecurities, fears, and unfulfilled dreams. When you reveal your vulnerabilities to them, they're not just hearing your words. They're filtering them through their own experiences, their own disappointments, their own limitations. This isn't about trust issues or building walls. It's about understanding the delicate nature of personal power. Your thoughts, your dreams, your fears, they're not just abstract concepts floating in your mind. They're energy, pure, powerful, creative energy. And just like any form of energy, they can be directed, focused, and amplified, or they can be scattered, diluted, and lost. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to drain your energy just by being around them? You start the conversation feeling motivated and inspired, and by the end, you're questioning everything you believed about yourself. These people aren't necessarily malicious. They're often just unconsciously projecting their own limits. When you share your dreams with someone who's operating from a place of limitation, you're not just risking discouragement. You're literally exposing your dream to an energy that could diminish its power. It's like opening a window in a warm room on a cold day. The heat will naturally flow out until the temperatures equalize. This is why it's crucial to be selective about who you share your inner world with. Not everyone deserves access to your sacred space. Not everyone has earned the right to know what moves your soul, what keeps you up at night, what makes your heart race with possibility. Every time you share a dream, you're not just sharing information, you're sharing a piece of your soul's purpose. And when you share it with someone who doesn't have the capacity to hold that sacred space for you, you're essentially diluting your own power. Think about the times when you've been on the verge of making a big change in your life. Maybe it was starting a new business, ending a relationship, moving to a new city. How many times did talking about it with the wrong person plant seeds of doubt in your mind? How many times did their well-meaning advice actually serve as an anchor, holding you back from taking that leap of faith? The truth is, most people will advise you based on their own fears, their own limitations, their own incomplete understanding of what's possible. They'll tell you what they think is realistic, practical, sensible. But whose reality are they really describing? Certainly not yours. Your potential is not limited by their imagination. Your dreams are not bound by their fears. Your future is not restricted by their past experiences. But when you freely share your inner world with them, you risk absorbing their limitations as your own. This doesn't mean you should never share your dreams or seek advice. It means you need to be incredibly selective about who you allow into your inner sanctuary. Look for people who have demonstrated through their own lives that they understand the power of possibility. Look for those who have shown they can hold space for big dreams without trying to make them more realistic. Pay attention to how people react when others succeed. Do they celebrate genuinely, or do they immediately start finding flaws and potential problems? Do they lift others up, or do they subtly tear them down with helpful criticism? These reactions tell you everything you need to know about how they'll treat your dreams. Remember, the people who are meant to be part of your journey will earn that privilege through their actions, not their words. They'll show you through consistent support, through their ability to celebrate your wins without jealousy, through their capacity to offer criticism that uplifts rather than diminishes. Until someone has proven they deserve access to your inner world, let them stay in the outer courts of your life. Be friendly, be kind, be professional. But keep your sacred dreams, your deepest fears, your highest aspirations close to your heart. Let them grow strong in the fertile soil of your own belief before you expose them to the elements of other people's opinions. This isn't about being secretive or distrustful. It's about being wise. It's about understanding that your energy, your life force, your creative power, your potential is precious. It's about recognizing that not everyone who shows interest in your journey deserves a guided tour of your soul. The most profound truth about human nature is that we become what we consistently think about, what we repeatedly expose ourselves to, and most importantly, what we allow others to speak into our lives. Have you ever noticed how a single negative comment can echo in your mind for days, weeks, or even years, while 100 positive comments might slip away like water through your fingers? There's a reason for this, and it goes deeper than simple psychology. Your mind, your consciousness, is like a garden. Every thought, every word, whether spoken by you or received from others, is like a seed planted in this garden. Some of these seeds will grow into beautiful flowers, others into troublesome weeds. The question is, why are we so careless about what seeds we allow others to plant? Let me tell you something. It might change your entire perspective on human interaction. Every single time someone speaks into your life, they're not just sharing words. They're transferring energy. They're planting seeds in your garden. And here's the crucial part. You are the gardener. You get to decide what grows and what doesn't. But most people never realize this power. They leave their garden open to everyone. The optimists, the pessimists, the dream builders, and the dream killers. They let anyone walk in and plant whatever seeds they want. Then they wonder why their garden is overrun with weeds of doubt, fear, and limitation. Think about the last time you shared something personal with someone, and their response made you feel smaller, less capable, less worthy. In that moment, they planted a seed in your garden. The question is, are you going to water it? Are you going to let it grow? This is where the real power lies. In understanding that while you can't always control what seeds others try to plant, you absolutely can control which ones you nurture and which ones you remove. But it's so much easier to maintain a beautiful garden if you're selective about who you allow to plant seeds in the first place. When you reveal your deepest desires, your most ambitious goals, your most vulnerable fears to someone, you're essentially giving them gardening privileges in your mental and emotional space. You're saying, here's access to my inner world. Plant what you will. Some people will plant seeds of encouragement, possibility, and growth. Others will plant seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation. But here's what most people never realize. Both types of seeds will grow if you water them with your attention and belief. The truth is, most people who discourage your dreams or belittle your ambitions aren't doing it consciously. They're simply sharing the limitations of their own garden. If their garden is full of be realistic weeds and play it safe thorns, that's what they have to share. They can't give you what they don't have. This is why it's crucial to be selective about who you allow into your inner world. It's not just about protecting your dreams, it's about protecting the very soil they grow in. Your consciousness, your belief system, your sense of what's possible. This is sacred ground. Not everyone deserves access to it. Think about the people in your life right now. Who are the ones that make you feel more possible after every interaction? Who are the ones that leave you feeling depleted, doubtful, or diminished? These aren't just temporary emotional states. These are indicators of what kind of seeds these people are planting in your garden. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Every time you reveal something about yourself, a dream, a fear, a hope, you're not just giving someone access to your garden, you're also releasing energy that could be used to grow those dreams into reality. Have you ever noticed how talking too much about your plans can sometimes drain your motivation to actually carry them out? There's a reason for this. Words are energy. When you speak about your dreams prematurely or to the wrong people, you're releasing energy that could be used for actual creation. This is why many highly successful people keep their plans quiet until they're ready to unveil them to the world. They understand that there's power in silence, strengths in selective sharing. They know that every word spoken about a dream either adds to its power or diminishes it, depending on who's receiving those words. Consider how many great achievements throughout history were accomplished in relative silence before they were revealed to the world. The greatest creations often happen in private, protected from the well-meaning but limiting opinions of others. This isn't about becoming secretive or isolated. It's about being wise and selective about who gets access to your inner world. It's about understanding that not everyone who shows interest deserves insight. Not everyone who asks questions deserves answers. The most powerful position you can take in any interaction is one of conscious choice. You get to choose what you reveal and what you keep sacred. You get to choose whose opinions you value and whose you politely decline. You get to choose what seeds are planted in your garden. Remember, the people who truly deserve to know your dreams will reveal themselves through their actions, not their questions. They'll show you through their consistent support, through their ability to hold space for possibility, through their capacity to nurture rather than diminish your potential. Look around the room right now. Feel the energy here. Every single person sitting here has experienced that moment when they shared something precious, only to have it trampled by someone who couldn't understand its value. But more importantly, every person here has also had moments when they were that someone, the one who didn't handle another's vulnerability with the care it deserved. We're all guilty of it. Sometimes unconsciously, sometimes with the best intentions, we've taken someone's dreams and tried to reshape them into something that made more sense to us. We've taken someone's fears and tried to minimize them because they didn't seem significant from our perspective. We've taken someone's hopes and tried to make them more realistic based on our own limited understanding of what's possible. This recognition, this awareness of how we've both been hurt and unknowingly hurt others, should make us even more mindful of the sacred responsibility that comes with being trusted with someone's inner world. Think about the last time someone shared something deeply personal with you. How did you handle that trust? Did you truly listen, or were you already formulating advice based on your own experiences? Did you hold space for their vulnerability, or did you rush to fill the silence with your own opinions? The truth is, when someone shares their inner world with us, they're not usually looking for solutions. They're looking for understanding. They're looking for connection. They're looking for someone who can hold space for their truth without trying to change it, fix it, or make it more palatable. But here's where it gets even more profound. The way we handle others' vulnerabilities often reflects how we handle our own. If we're quick to dismiss others' dreams as unrealistic, chances are we're doing the same to our own. If we're quick to offer solutions instead of understanding, we're probably not giving ourselves the space to fully feel and process our own emotions. This is why being selective about what we reveal isn't just about protecting ourselves from others. It's about developing a deeper respect for the sacred nature of our inner world. When we understand how precious our own dreams, fears, and hopes are, we naturally become better guardians of others' vulnerabilities when they choose to share them with us. Every time someone shares something deeply personal with you, they're not just sharing information. They're sharing energy. They're sharing a piece of their soul's journey. How you receive that sharing, how you hold that space, can either amplify their power or diminish it. This is where real transformation begins. in understanding that we're not just passive recipients of others' sharing, but active participants in either their growth or their limitation. When someone shares their dream with you, your response becomes part of their story. Your words, your energy, your belief or disbelief becomes woven into the fabric of their journey. That's an enormous responsibility. It's one that should make us pause before we casually dismiss someone's hopes as unrealistic, before we reflexively offer advice based on our own limited experiences, before we try to reshape someone else's dream into something that makes more sense to us. And here's something even more powerful to consider. Sometimes the most supportive thing we can do is admit that we're not the right person to hold someone's vulnerability. Sometimes the most loving response is to say, this feels really important, and I want to make sure you share it with someone who can truly support you in this. This level of self-awareness, knowing when we're not the right vessel for someone's truth, is rare. It requires us to set aside our ego, to acknowledge our limitations, to prioritize the other person's growth over our desire to be helpful or be seen as. But when we develop this level of discernment, both in what we share and in how we receive others' sharing, something remarkable happens. Our relationships become deeper, more authentic, more transformative. We create spaces where real growth can happen, where dreams can be nurtured, where fears can be acknowledged without being amplified. This is the kind of wisdom that changes not just individual lives, but entire communities. When we understand the sacred nature of personal revelation, both our own and others, we create environments where genuine transformation becomes. Think about the relationships in your life right now. Who has earned the right to hear your dreams? Who has demonstrated the capacity to hold your fears without trying to fix them? Who has shown that they can celebrate your success without needing to add their own opinion or advice? These are your sacred confidants. These are the people who have earned access to your inner world through their consistent demonstration of wisdom, understanding, and genuine support. These are the people who understand that being trusted with someone's vulnerability is not an invitation to advise, fix, or direct. It's an opportunity to witness, to hold space, to believe in possibilities that might not yet be visible. The power you hold within you right now in this very moment is extraordinary. It's the power to choose what you reveal and what you protect. It's the power to decide who gets access to your sacred inner world and who remains in the outer courts of your life. This power has always been yours, but perhaps you've never fully claimed it until now. Consider this truth. Your life's most significant transformations will likely happen in silence, in those quiet moments when you're nurturing your dreams without the need for external validation or approval. The most profound changes often occur in that sacred space between deciding and announcing, between conceiving and revealing. Every person who has ever achieved something remarkable understood this principle, whether consciously or instinctively. They knew that some dreams need darkness to grow, just like seeds in the soil. They understood that not every thought needs to be spoken, not every plan needs to be shared, not every hope needs to be announced. But this knowledge comes with responsibility. As you become more conscious of what you reveal and to whom, you'll also become more aware of the sacred trust others place in you when they share their vulnerable truths. You'll understand that being chosen as someone's confidant isn't just a privilege. It's a profound responsibility. When someone shares their dreams with you, they're not just sharing information. They're sharing their soul's deepest yearnings. When they reveal their fears, they're not just listing their worries. They're showing you the shadows they wrestle with in their quietest moments. This is sacred ground. This is holy territory. As you leave here today, carry with you this understanding. Your inner world is your most precious possession. It's the source of your power, your creativity, your potential for transformation. Guard it wisely. Share it selectively. Honor it consistently. Remember that silence isn't empty. It's full of potential. When you choose not to speak about your dreams, you're not hiding them. You're protecting them. When you decide not to share your plans, you're not being secretive. You're being wise. When you keep your sacred thoughts to yourself, you're not being antisocial. You're being discerning. The path forward is clear, though it may not always be easy. Be more thoughtful about what you reveal. Be more conscious of how you receive others' revelations. Be more protective of your inner world. Not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Not out of distrust, but out of understanding the sacred nature of personal truth. Your dreams, your fears, your hopes, they're not just thoughts in your head. They're seeds of potential reality. Treat them with the reverence they deserve. Share them only with those who have proven they can handle them with care. Trust your intuition about who those people are. And perhaps most importantly, remember this. Not everyone needs to understand your journey. Not everyone needs to approve of your choices. Not everyone needs to know your next move. The only person who needs to believe in your dreams is you. The power to protect what's precious, to nurture what's growing, to shield what's developing, that power is in your hands right now. Use it wisely. Use it consciously. Use it with love, but use it with discretion. As we conclude our time together, I want you to take a moment to feel the truth of what we've explored. Feel the power that comes from knowing you can choose what you reveal and what you protect. Feel the freedom that comes from understanding that you don't owe anyone access to your inner world. Let this understanding transform how you move through the world from this day forward. Let it guide your interactions, your relationships, your choices about what to share and what to keep sacred. For in the end, your life's most beautiful chapters will be written not in the words you speak to others, but in the quiet moments when you honor your own truth, protect your own dreams, and trust your own wisdom about what to reveal and what to keep sacred. This is your power. This is your truth. This is your path forward. Thank you for allowing me to share these thoughts with you today. May you go forth with new wisdom about the power of what you choose to reveal and what you choose to protect. May you honor both your voice and your silence, knowing that each has its own sacred purpose in your journey. What you keep sacred stays powerful. What you protect has the space to grow. What you reveal selectively becomes your strengths, not your vulnerability. The choice is yours. The power is yours. The wisdom is yours. Use it well.